What's up, everybody? It's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out the GoZero Venture 35. It's going to be a power bank. So what this is you can charge this up and you can charge anything, any of your accessories, anywhere you go. Let's check it out. We're going to start here with it fully charged. We got plugged in our power station where we usually plug in all the camera batteries for the day. So now that I know that's got a fully charged, you can hit this button. You got the lights right there, they're all gonna light up. We see all four of them are lit up, so this is fully charged. These are gonna be our USB ports. There's two of them right here, the standard USB, and then we have the USB-C over here. So those are the ports we can use. Now let's go walk around and look at some instances we're gonna use this. First place I recommend keeping it is in your car. Now you can easily plug your devices into your car via the 12-volt ports and charge them, but it's nice to have this with you and keep this charged at all times, because when you leave the car you can easily take this. It's about 10 ounces, so it's not that heavy. You can just take it with you wherever you go. It's pretty compact as well, so it'll fit in any backpack or bag or even your pocket. It's nice to have with you at all times. That way in the car it's always going to be charged, and when it's time to go you just unplug it and take it with you. Now we're going to take a closer look at its construction. It's got a rugged construction. It's made out of aluminum with a rubber coating on the outside, so that's going to help you with grip. And you know, when you drop it, that rubber is going to absorb some of that shock when you go to do that. Another thing it is also waterproof. So clearly not in this state right here. Part of it being waterproof would be this seal going over that port. So we'll unplug the ports and put that over there. Now if you were charging it while you're paddleboarding or something and had it plugged in, that's not exactly waterproof because all those USB ports would be all exposed. So it's got an IP67 rating and it's rated up to 30 minutes per meter. So if you go to drop it in the water, it's going to be able to handle that. So let's go ahead and test it out and drop it in the water. Got a 5-gallon bucket full of water, and we're going to go ahead and dump this in there and see how it handles. Now clearly this isn't up to 1 meter of distance to fully test it out, but it's just a good test to see if the water gets into this seal, because this is the only thing that's really protecting it. So we want to make sure once we put this in the water that it doesn't get to those USB ports and ruin anything. We got the Venture 35 and a 5-gallon bucket of water. So we're going to turn the flashlight on and then we're going to drop it in the water and see how it handles. Right away, that rubber held that impact. Flashlight's still on, so that means it's still working. You can see the seal's doing its job. We don't see any bubbles coming out of the front. So it looks like it's going to hold up pretty well. Now with it out of the water, we can kind of shake off some of that water and we'll see if any of it got underneath that seal. So peel it back. Looks pretty good. Doesn't look like anything got in there. Look about a little bit in that corner, but I can't really tell if it was there before I peeled the seal off or it kind of rolled in there after I peeled. Maybe it was resting there, put out there, but still that's not going in the port. So we'll just make sure that we don't expose those to anything. Some quick stats about this power bank is it can charge a headlamp up to 7 recharges, a POV camera, you can charge that up to 6 charges. That's full charge from dead to full. You can also do a phone up to 3 charges, and then a tablet up to 1. Another thing to note about the POV camera, or the GoPro in this instance, is when we were on our way to the site to shoot, we actually forgot to charge our GoPro. So we found out one of the nice things with the GoZero Venture 35 is going to be that you can plug this in to charge the power bank and still charge the GoPro at the same time. That's pretty nice, because some of the other power banks, you have to choose whether you're going to charge the power bank itself or the GoPro. Now going from the studio to outside, this is one of those unique opportunities we had to where we had this down here, the Venture 35, for about 2 weeks. So sometimes we only get a product a little bit to work with it. We had 2 weeks to work with this one, and that was pretty nice because we come some instances that I didn't even think about. So we spent a lot of time earlier this week outside shooting on the back of this camper, and so you saw where our studio was and where this is. There's a lot of walking back and forth with waste time. We had this power bank out here, and that allowed us to charge our microphone batteries and some camera batteries, which really helped us out, so we didn't have to walk back to swap out batteries. So it saved us time on our project, and that's something I really probably wouldn't have thought of unless we had it on us to use it. So definitely very cool. Definitely has it in my head now, like a power bank is something I probably should have on our shoots all the time. Now that's just for some minor microphone batteries. If you're doing something bigger like a drone, there is also the Venture 75 that has a little bit more power. So I'd maybe look into that if you were charging more heavy duty things. We've been shooting out here far away from the studio earlier this week, so it was nice to have this power bank on hand before we shot it. So we actually got to use this, and what we did was we plugged in and charged our microphone batteries. So that's my wireless pack here in my pocket and the one on the camera for cameraman Tom. So we were able to charge those batteries and not have to keep walking back and forth from the studio, which saved us a bunch of time. And that's something I wouldn't have thought of right off the bat. It's just we had this on hand, so we used it, and I'm like, now I kind of want to have these at all times because it was super helpful and saved us time. Another one of the benefits that having this and using it for long term to give a good test was I actually took it to the gym with me when I forgot to charge my phone one day, so I could just leave this in my backpack, have my wireless headphones, and be working out, and it's still getting a charge because there's no outlets to use at the gym. So I was able to charge that up, so when I went to go do cardio, I had a fully charged phone. Let's go over some of the charge times. You're gonna have USB-C, it's gonna be 18 watts, it's gonna take 3 hours to charge. It's gonna be USB-A, that's going to be 2.5 amps. It's going to be 4 hours. So then we also have, if you hook this up to a solar panel like the Nomad 5, it could take 12 to 24 hours to charge. The Nomad 10, it could take 6 to 12 hours. And then a Nomad 20 could take 4 to 8 hours. Overall, I really liked it. It impressed me. I kind of want one myself. It was very useful when we were away from the studio to charge those microphone batteries and my phone, and charge my phone at the gym, so that when I got to cardio, I had a full charge of my phone, which makes cardio a whole bunch easier. It's lithium ion, and even out in the rain, the waterproof was impressive too. So that was nice to see it go in that bucket and not see any issues with it. I mean, I'm staying out in the rain with it right now, and I'm not worried about it because it's got it protected. So I know that if I put it in my pack and go on the trails, I accidentally dump it in the water, it's going to be just fine. Well, I think that does it. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope this helped.